On this week's episode of the All About Hennessey Show, Jack Choate talks to us about the Powder and String Club and wildlife preservation. We visit with Stacy Cline, president of Hennessey United, about the Wine and Chocolate Festival coming up. All this and more on this week's All About Hennessey Show. This show made possible in part by Seaboard Foods. At Seaboard Foods, our work matters to our families, our communities, and the people who rely on us to produce delicious pork products. And Northcutt Toyota. Let Northcutt be your shortcut to a great deal. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
We can't meet in airports. It becomes a real problem. But I have Jack Choate the third. Is that right? Is there a fourth? Or was there a fourth planned?
No. We were going to stop it at 3, yeah.
Lineage? Okay, that's good.
I just had 2 girls, so.
Okay. Well, you could have called one of them Jackie the fourth or something.
Yeah. No.
Okay, whatever. Before we get into this, I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I know you asked questions when you got here that it seems like whenever someone asks what I do for a living other than the All About Hennessey thing, and I tell them it was like a deer in the headlight look. It's like, you do what? So the KJ Filmworks side of the company has a very busy next 6 weeks. We are traveling from coast to coast, all 4 directions, and we're going to do a video where we take you guys with us so you can see what we actually do when we're traveling. And the trips include, starting this week, I will be in Northern California in the Sequoia area. It's way up, right up against the state line in Northern California, where they harvest the world's tallest Christmas tree that's going to be in Enid. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be like crazy cool. So I'm up there when they cut the tree down and then haul it all the way back to Enid. And then I am home just a couple of days, and then I head over to Philadelphia for an electric generating facility video. Then I'm home just like Saturday, and then I'm off to Shreveport, Louisiana, and Texas for a gas processing facility. And then I am home, I think, Sunday, and then we're back on a plane to Colorado Springs for a semiconductor company. Maybe we can get them to make the semiconductors faster and get some cars made. And then I'm off to Chicago for a gas processing plant. So it's a very, very busy month and a half kind of thing like that. But we're going to try to take you guys along with us and see how all this works and how we schlep all our gear. And I think this is Ivan's first airplane ride. Is that right? He's shaking his head. Yeah, so this will be exciting. We'll get him a little barf bag or something like that.
Yep.
Anyway, enough of that. So Jack is here. Why are you here?
I'm representing the Hennessey Powder and String Club today.
That's pretty cool. It's like a long time club. How long has that been going?
It's been around since the mid to late 60s.
Really? Okay. And now some of the youngins won't know what powder and string means. Tell us a little.
Powder is basically gunpowder, and string is archery and fishing.
Oh, I didn't know there was fishing element.
Oh, yes.
I can fish.
We have had a farm pond that's been leased from Harold Bullis down to Mickey Bullis since the start.
Really?
Yes. It's just out west of town, not too far from 132 and Bison Road.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of the membership with Powder and String, you get fishing rights that you can go fishing out there.
Wow. I didn't realize
we
that.
mage it, keep it stocked,
Mm-hmm.
keep it nice, and take care of it. So.
Oh, that's really cool. I thought the string was just archery.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does the Powder and String Club do?
I actually have the Constitution here.
Oh, baby.
And it, from the start.
Are you going to read it?
I know you're not supposed to read on TV, but I'm going to. The purpose of the club shall be the promotion of and participation in outdoor recreational sports such as hunting, fishing, and other related activities. We also work with the sportsman rights. They pertain to protection of state and federal laws and regulations, and we focus on safety.
Very cool. Now, I understand you have a big youth element to this.
We do. If you want to promote the participation in the outdoor activities, you got to start somewhere, and the best place to start is with our youth. And sad to say, over the past few years, there's been a very large decline in the participation in hunting and fishing, except for the last 2 years. What happened in 2020?
Oh, you couldn't go do anything.
COVID happened.
So you go out in the woods.
And all of a sudden, everybody went to the lake.
Yeah.
And it was a great big boon in the hunting and fishing part of the world.
Oh.
Up until that time, it's been a steady decrease, with the largest increased population of hunters and fishermen actually being in women.
And I know you have a big drive trying to...
We do. It's not so much we'd love to have members. I mean, we're open to the public. There's no real restriction. If you come, we'd love to have you. Mm-hmm. But we do focus our efforts on, a lot of times, our outreach efforts to youth. One of the things we're going to do, if you don't mind me bringing it up now.
Yeah, let's please do.
We're having a 2021 Youth Hunt Fun Day. This is our second year to do this. But Oklahoma has a special youth deer hunt, and it's going to be the weekend of the 16th. I think it's like the 15th, 16th, and 17th. Check your regulations. I'm not sure what the dates actually are. But on the 16th, we're going to open up the clubhouse. And for the kids that get a deer, we're going to provide a place they can bring it in. We'll help them clean it, skin it, get it ready for processing. We'll take pictures. We're going to hang it up. We're going to let them show it off, brag about it, and everything else. One of the things that the kids have missed out that used to be special when I was younger is that they had hunter check stations. When you killed a deer, you took it into a check station, which was like the Lacey store, Martha's Minute Mart, the little stores around
one
here.
right over here in the corner.
Yeah, and what the people would do, they'd put your deer, they'd hoist it up, and then they hang around for a couple hours showing it off. All the friends and family would come in and see it. Yeah, and it was really it was an event. And the kids nowadays don't get to do that with the e-check. They check them in on their phones now.
Oh, I was wondering how that worked now.
So you don't bring them in anywhere. Well, then we'll help you e-check it in. We have Wi-Fi at our clubhouse, but we'll also let you show it off, call your friends and family in, and we'll have someone there to take a picture of it for you, and we'll have some prizes and awards also. But that's going to be Saturday the 16th. We're going to be there all day from dusk till dawn. We're going to have chili for lunch, hamburgers, hot dogs, donuts, coffee. We'll make it worth your while to come by.
I went to last year. I won't be here for this year's, but I went last year's, and it was a lot of fun.
You got to try antelope stew last year.
I did. Yes. Well, they didn't tell me what it was till after I had it, but it was good. It was very good. We'll post this on All About Hennessey Facebook page so you can participate if you wish.
We also have 2 trap houses out at the clubhouse, and the 4-H youth shooters use one. They actually own the thrower in it. We have the trap house. And then we have another one that we have ATA trap shoots. We have just fun event trap shoots. Just things we can do to promote sportsmen.
What was the one I was part of last year? Or
that
this year?
was the youth trap shoot where we got the 4-H shooters, put them on a team with some adults.
Some of those kids were kicking our butts.
Yeah, mine too. And he kept rubbing it in too. But it was a lot of fun with the kids, seeing them out there and doing that. We also have a bunch of adult shoots too.
Yep.
And like I said, it's open to the public. You just come by and find out when we're going to do it.
Tell them where the clubhouse is now, because I mean I know a lot of people around here drive by it. And don't realize
the clubhouse
what it
is the old Maple Grove schoolhouse. It's 3.5 miles east of Hennessey, 1 mile south on the east side of the road. It's just an old schoolhouse. There's the Maple Grove Cemetery, and you can see the trap houses behind it.
Neat little clubhouse. Now, a big part of what you do is conservation.
Yes.
And you were telling me about how the wildlife department is funded, and that was
kind
of interesting.
Ever since Bambi came out, hunters have had a bad reputation. The man is in the woods, and he's shooting everything. Sad to say, there was a time in Oklahoma and across the United States where commercial hunting was a big time event. And they would basically get on huge lines, and they'd clear out the game all through an area. And they'd send it overseas. Venison, rabbit.
Oh, it was actually just to harvest the meat.
Yeah, and by the late 1800s, we started seeing throughout the United States that all of a sudden we don't have the number of animals we used to. They first noticed it with the birds and stuff. The passenger pigeon, ducks and geese, and I was telling Jack that sportsman hunters. Okay, there's different commercial hunters. They just buy them a gun, send them out in the woods, shoot everything they see. You also had people that were starving. This back depression time, they were subsistence hunters. You can't fault someone just trying to live. And then you have sportsman hunters that look at it as it's a commodity that they enjoy using, and they want to promote it and make it better. Sportsman hunters are the only group that have ever gone towards Congress and petitioned them to tax ourselves.
Okay.
It was in 1937. It's called the Federal Aid and Wildlife Restoration Act, better known as the Pittman-Robertson Act. And with that, we have put a tax on all the ammunition, all the gun sales, all the sales of sporting stuff like fishing lures, fishing line. And that tax is used to fund the wildlife departments in several states, like the Oklahoma Wildlife Department. When people see that, they think it's an official state department, and it is, but it's funded solely by this
So no tax. No. What I mean,
This
it's taxpayer money, but it's sales tax.
It's a sales tax on sportsmen.
Wow.
We wanted to tax ourselves to promote the deal, and then they do it. It's specified in there that so much is for wildlife restoration. That includes buying land. The Oklahoma Wildlife Department is one of the largest landowners in Oklahoma.
Really?
It buys land for restoration and wildlife and for public use. So even if you're a non-sportsman, if you just like to get out and walk, there's trails and stuff through all this land that they bought. So
Put a link to this. He's got the newsletter here, the Wildlife Society.
well, your best link is wildlifedepartment.com
Okay.
and go to About Us. That's Oklahoma's Wildlife Department, and it talks about it. This was just something I printed out that's a little bit easier for me to read while I'm here, but you don't need this one.
That's
It's
very
for
cool.
Tennessee.
We'll put the link on it anyway, where you can go and find that real easy.
Sure.
This is very cool. Now, you have an idea that you're proposing that we want your help from. We need some input from the audience here.
Yes, I really thought about springing that on you, and I thought, no, because you don't. You
I can
never
edit. Yep.
Not only that, I mean, he can do things later down the road, so it's like, that's not smart. He might turn me purple with polka dots or something. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of your listeners out here remember the days of Don Wallace and Wallace Wildlife. 6:30 on Thursday, every day I'd come home from school and I'd run in there and I'd get ready to watch the Wallace Wildlife Show. And he also did something about once a week on TV where he had the wildlife report, where he'd show pictures of people and the game they got and the things they were doing in the boats and fishing and stuff. And then on his program, he'd have a drawing where he had the big hopper and he'd give away a little present. Well, I had a buddy of mine, John Hedges. Hopefully he's watching. He became a brief celebrity one time when he won some sweet Angie dough bait on the Don Wallace Wildlife Show. I mean, we talked about it all day the next day at school. So it's something that I really enjoyed growing up, and if we could, maybe like once a month, just have a little segment where we can bring some pictures that people send in, do some bragging for them, and maybe do a little wildlife report.
That's very cool. We need some input from you if there was some interest in that, and if we do it, we need your help sending in pictures and things
yes.
like this.
I mean,
yeah.
it's for them.
Very, very cool. This is exciting. The now you have a shoot coming up that I can't make. I was going to try. Jack called me like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago and says, "Hey, we're having a trap shoot thing," and I says, "Well, I kind of have done that before." And
This
I didn't
was
do too bad. I didn't fall down and
You did very well.
Yeah.
Especially for the first time.
yeah.
I don't have as good an excuse as you because I've been doing it for years. Trap has a way of humbling you.
Yes.
At least it does me.
Yep. You got to think ahead of that little thing flying out ahead of you there. Yeah.
And I've noticed as I get older, my sight's not as, my vision's not as good, and it makes a difference.
That's when you just spray it. You're bound to hit something.
Yeah, that's my excuse for letting those younger kids beat me. Their eyes are still new. Actually, we're doing a little different this time. We've been having it at our clubhouse, trying to show off what we've been doing. But we also have a member, Charlie Mears, who has prairie clays, sporting clays out by Drummond, And we were going to do something a little different. We're going to have a sporting clay shoot this Friday out at Charlie Mears. And it is a fundraising for the clubhouse. We still have some spots available if you want to give us a call. We'll post that too, I guess.
Yep. Now, what's the difference between sporting clay and what I shot?
Okay, what you shot was a trap house.
Okay.
They go left, they go right, they go straight out.
Okay.
Sporting clays, you move from station to station and you get to shoot twice, but they could be going on the ground, they could be coming over your head,
Lord.
coming through the trees, coming over dams. they're just however they want to set them up. I've seen them put cranes way up in the air and shoot them straight down. So I mean, they're dive bombing it. So
Okay.
it's just it's more like what you might see in the field with dove.
Something
or quail.
real, more real. Yeah.
The trap house is basically to look like a rising quail. Is how I've always been told. True trap aficionados, there may be a different reason for the way
Sure.
they do it. But to me, it looks like upland game, quail or pheasant coming from the rise.
Yep.
Sporting clays is just all over. You have rabbits, which are small ones that bounce along the ground. You have the other ones that come from the top like dove, and then you have some that do rise like quail. So it's just a combination of everything.
Bigger challenge. Yes.
It'll
Very
humble
cool.
you even more. It'll make you look bad,
That's why I'm probably going to be somewhere else that day. Yeah.
but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Very cool. Anything else you want to throw out there while we're on the subject? We really do need some input on if you want to like this monthly report.
There is.
Just
We've
jump in
been
there.
focused on shooting. I mentioned the fishing pond. It is very tough to find a place to fish nowadays unless you go to one of our Great Lakes in Oklahoma. Oklahoma has more shoreline than California does because of all the lakes.
Wow.
But we do have a really nice club pond, and I've never understood our membership at Powder and String is $25. For another $25, you got unlimited access to the club pond. I say unlimited. Mickey does have some hunters that go out there during the hunting season, so we try to make sure we're not interfering with them. But any other time, you can go out there anytime. You can put a little boat on there. You can take a buddy with
How
you.
big is this pond?
It's a nice sized pond. I don't know how many acres, but it's one of the bigger ponds around here.
Wow. Okay.
And it's been around for a long time. It's spring fed. It's got big bass in it. I've been out there several times. You're more likely to catch a 4-pound bass than you are a 2-pound bass.
Wow. Okay. I don't think I've ever caught a bass any bigger than like the one they
Yeah.
threw in there the day before to stock the place. But
And if you're a kid, it's got lots and lots of perch in it, and they have a lot of fun. It's just a great place to take some family members out. And if you don't have a good place to fish and you do enjoy fishing, I'd highly recommend checking it out. We used to have a youth fishing derby deal that we opened up to the public. We haven't done it since COVID, but we might do it this next year.
let
so
us know if
be
there's some
aware.
interest in that. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Good deal. All right. Thank you, Jack.
You bet.
All right, stay tuned. Don't go away. When we come back, we visit with Stacy Cline about the Hennessey Wine and Chocolate Festival. This show made possible in part by Pioneer, gopioneer.com, and Cherie Hicks State Farm, auto, home, property, business, life, and health. Be sure to click the subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to be sure you never miss an episode of the All About Hennessy Show. Hi, Stacy.
Hey, Jack.
Nothing else. We have a lot of fun around here. Stacy is here to talk about the 10th annual Hennessey Wine and Chocolate Festival.
Yes. Yep. It has been.
Fill us in.
So I would say Hennessey United has sponsored. That'd be a good word.
Yeah, they
sponsor.
kind of the operator or sponsor, sure.
So sponsor, but Wes Harden and Teresa Oliver are really the steerheads of that. And this is our.
Before you get rolling, do you remember how this whole thing started? Is this something that Wes trumped up and then?
I mean, I think.
I think it is.
Definitely.
Someone can correct us in the comments, but I think Wes and his brothers and son and all come up with this idea, but needed an organization to facilitate it, and he brought it to Hennessey United, and that's been 10 years.
Yeah.
So
And if you guys aren't from around Hennessey, we have a business here in town called Vernost, and it is operated in the old, we call it the Ranch Room, which is a historical room.
it is a cool place.
And
yeah.
its claim to fame is, who was the famous guy that used to was upstairs.
Oh no, I didn't know it was going to be a test.
I don't know.
Somebody's famous.
Somebody,
was
yeah, there's an
there.
association, and we've even had Ghostbusters come into Hennessey
Yep.
and do the Ghostbusting thing in this place, and they said there was some activity, and
It is a really neat hangout kind of. It's not a bar. It's a really neat gathering place.
it is.
Yeah.
And the building next to it, which used to be the old Ortman Theater, if you're from Hennessey, and you were like us, and we spent time in the theater. I think Grease was the last movie I went to.
I think you're right. Yes.
But it burnt down, and then they've made it into an outdoor garden with a really neat.
And it's a beautiful 2-story thing with a stage, and they have bands, and it's just a really neat environment.
One of those gazebos or
Yep.
bar-
Grain
bar-
bin. Grain bin bar.
bar
Say that
zebo.
3 times fast.
Yeah. So anyway, that they brew their own wine,
Make their own wine.
ferment, make I don't know,
I don't
make
know.
their own wine, Vernost.
Yes.
And we have the yummy wine. So anyway, they started it.
Yep.
And now we have the Wine and Chocolate Festival, and people come from all over Oklahoma to come to our
Thousands of
festival.
people. Like we've doubled the population of the town.
Exactly, yeah.
In past years. It's kind of a big deal.
It is kind of a big. It's,
Yeah.
it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. And now you're the president.
I would use that term very loosely. Nobody else
We'll
wants
see.
to be
Well,
president.
if it flops, we know what happened. So tell us what's going on this year.
Okay. Oh, so this year it is going to be October the 16th. We're going to have over 21 vendors, wine and chocolate vendors, together. And we do it there on Main Street in Memorial Park. So if you come into Hennessey, you cannot miss it.
Oh, it's cool.
It's cool.
They're all of the tents and the people. Yeah, you won't miss it. Just drive down Main Street. You're going to run into it.
Right, and you can get your tickets here in town at Vernost or Town Hall, and then I don't think you can get them online.
No, I don't think the online's working this year.
You can't
but
get them online, but the cost is not any different. You might have to wait in line a little bit that day.
They
but
move
that's-
really fast,
But it
though.
moves fast. That's the only difference.
And are you taking credit cards at the?
Yes, we are taking credit cards or debit cards at the gate.
Okay, so that'll save you a little time. I think
Mm-hmm.
they last year or 2 years ago, we didn't have last year because of COVID, but you have 2 lines, one for credit card and one for cash, and you can
It goes
move
really
it along
quick,
pretty
but
quick.
you have to have your ID. So
Yep.
make sure you have your ID.
Yep.
The line moves quickly. Once you get a glass, a commemorative wine glass. That's just kind of cool. And then you can go around to any of the
Vendors.
vendors. I want
Spit
to
it
say
out.
vintners.
It's late.
Is
It's
that-
late. We're shooting at night here.
And
so.
you can get all the taste testing you want,
Mm-hmm.
and the chocolate. Now, if you do bring somebody that does not drink wine, you can pay $5 to get in, and you can go around and do the chocolate
They give you a little wristband so
Mm-hmm.
they know whether you're wine or chocolate or whatever.
or both.
Yeah.
If you do the $20, you get both.
Yes.
So
Very, very cool.
Yep.
Now, but wait, there's more. The
Yes, there's
semi-world famous Hennessey Fire Department ribeye sandwiches will be there.
my gosh, it's yummy, and they do to-go orders. So it is their fundraiser. They do other fundraisers, but I think this is their main
This is a big one.
fundraiser. It's the
Yep.
big one that supports our local fire department, and it is well worth your money. So come get a steak dinner or steak sandwich. You can get them to go. And
Chips and water and
chips
pickles and-
water, and then get your wine. You can have some wine, a little steak sandwich.
Yep.
It's yummy.
And then if you're wanting to extend your evening, you can go on over to Vernas because they usually have something going on that night. And
Yeah.
they
I
pack
wouldn't-
the place.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have. They have a stage in their outdoor venue.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. Don't hold me to it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have a.
No pressure, Wes.
Yeah,
Round up a band. Yeah.
maybe there'll be a band. So if you don't, Wes, you should get a band.
Yeah, bring a guitar, if just in case. Make your own fun. Now you're in the past you've had shuttle parking, so you can park and they'll come and get you in a golf cart or a car or a limo
Yes,
or
I think we're
something.
planning on some kind of shuttle, golf cart, brigade, something to help those that can't walk in. But there's pretty close parking. I mean, we got it right across
There's a
the
lot.
street.
You might have to hunt around just a little bit, but there's a lot. The big parking lot is over near the school, a couple of blocks east. But if you have to park that far away, then it has been a very successful event.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Very, very cool.
We're really looking forward to it. We were really sad when we didn't have it last year. So
And it was like last minute when you killed it last year.
Yeah,
It
because
got pretty.
we were going to have it, but we didn't have enough
Vendors, yeah.
come in to hold it. So so this year I think we're good to go. And we're going to have a distillery this time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
so,
good. That's new.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we
Anybody
will
selling
have-
bacon?
No bacon.
I always thought beer, wine, and bacon would be the venue.
No,
you know?
I'm not. I like chocolate, okay, but I'd be on board for the bacon. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Maybe next year.
Yep.
What else is on your list?
I think that's it. Steak sandwiches, over 21 vendors, $20 to get in.
Yep.
Did I say that? And then $5 for just the chocolate. And just come and have a great time.
It's a neat event. It's and if you like if you brought a child and I was surprised at how many kids come, especially in stroller kids.
Yeah, it's
And-
definitely not a. I mean, it's a great atmosphere to come, hang out,
Yep.
hang with your friends, bring some. It's a great girlfriend trip. It'd be a great girlfriend trip in, or a guy trip in, or a couple trip in. I mean, it's just a fun evening.
And we've had people from all over.
Yes.
I mean, all over Kansas, especially over around the Tulsa
Tulsa.
area.
We get a lot of people
Yep.
over from Tulsa,
Yep.
which is great. And Oklahoma City just wanting to get out of the city for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And Hennessy's a great place to do it.
Come spend the night, stay at the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Eat
we have
breakfast
an
here.
Airbnb. We have an Airbnb in
Yes.
town, and
Yes.
and-
What's it? The Champlain Airbnb.
which
Yep.
is neat. It's an old gas station they've redone, and it's
You can
kinda
get on
cool.
Airbnb.com and check it out, and that would be kind of neat if Richard rented that
Yeah.
during this deal.
That would be neat.
Very cool.
So,
That it?
yep, I think so. Just come and have fun.
All right. Be sure to click the subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to be sure you never miss an episode of the All About Hennessy Show. Check out this week's All About Hennessy Post newspaper and subscribe for free at allabouthennessy.com.